Hey everyone, welcome back to another study vlog. So the UPSC Prelims 2025 notification is finally out. So don't procrastinate and make sure to fill the form soon. So it's 11:30 p.m. and it's been a long day. I have returned from the library. So after library, all the traveling time in the metro and the study session at home at night this time, I kept it exclusively for the current affairs. For the current affairs, I'm using Target UPSC. They provide really well structured PDFs without overburdening you with unnecessary information. So it's very easy to go through, just the right balance of what's important. And that's exactly why I decided to stick with it. I'm using it from last 2 attempts. It keeps things very simple and focused, which I think is very helpful. Whiteboard, I have set targets to complete Polity for prelims. Basically, I have divided the chapters of Laxmikant and write it in front of the dates. Honestly, setting clear targets like this really helps and saves a lot of time. It keeps us on track and makes sure things get done on schedule. It's a game changer for staying disciplined. Okay, so here I want to tell you something. While doing Lakshmikant, doing a little bit of smartness to your approach makes a huge difference. For example, linking related topics and studying it simultaneously. For example, studying Supreme Court and High Court together, then President and Governor, or Parliament and State Legislature. Same as there are many topics which you should read simultaneously. Okay, then it will enhance your understanding and the interconnectedness build your concepts more effectively. And always, when I say always, I really means always, keep the PYQ previous year question paper in front of you. Before diving into any chapter, go through the PYQ first. Analyze them thoroughly, identify the important chapters and the key topics within those chapters. Try to understand the pattern of what's being asked and prepare accordingly. This approach not only saves time but also ensure you are focusing on what's actually asked and matter for the exam. I also want to share something from my experience. During preparation, we often get tempted to cram too much into one day, like doing 2 hours of polity, then next 2 hours of geography, then squeezing in current affairs into it, and of course the newspaper too. It feels like so much to manage at once, but here's what I have learned. Focusing on one subject at a time gives much better result. You are able to complete targets faster, understand things deeply, and retain them better. Recently, I was watching a topper's talk. There, I heard a topper saying that UPSC preparation isn't like a 3 course meal where you taste a little bit of everything in one sitting. That really stuck with me. So, if you're facing the same issue, maybe try narrow your focus. It might make a big difference. So, here I want to address a query which was asked in the comment section. So, the question is, can you please share some coachings an aspirant could refer to for UPSC? Like, there are so many, which is better? So this is very common and general question which every aspirant once face in their initial preparation journey. So I also face it, so it is very important to address. So let's talk about it. Before I get into the specifics of the question, I want to say upfront that everything I share purely based on my personal experience and understanding. So for those of you who are watching my video for the first time, just to give you a little context, I have been preparing for UPSC since 2021 and have already attempted the exam twice. During this journey, I have taken help from coaching for both GS and my optional subject, which is PSIR. Now I want to share my experience specifically regarding the GS Foundation course, which many aspirants opt for. After investing a lot of time attending these classes, making notes and then studying the static books on my own, I have realized that coaching for all subjects is not necessary at all. There are only few subjects where coaching can actually add value. For example, geography, because it includes some tricky concepts like climate and oceanography that might need a teacher's explanation. Similarly, economics involves technical concepts that are much easier to understand with guidance. Lastly, CSET, if you are not from a maths background, has become a challenging in recent years, so getting help for that might also be worth considering. Subjects like polity can easily be done with Lakshmikant. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone who has prepared for prelims without studying it. It's that essential. Plus, the book is written in such simple language that you barely need any assistance to understand it. And if you ever get stuck, YouTube is always there to help. There are so many explanatory videos available. The same goes for history, where Spectrum is a must read, and for environment, the Shankarayas book is the go to resource. My point is, if you ultimately have to rely on these standard books to clear prelims, then why so much time we have to spend and energy on those long 3 hours long coaching classes? Also, let's be practical. These books are already packed with so much information that it's humanly impossible for the teachers in coaching classes who are studying or dictating those notes for these subjects to make to dictate us notes for everything. Okay, so instead of wasting time in such classes, focus directly on these materials and study smartly. Another issue I have noticed with coaching institute is that teachers often keep switching from one institute to another. This makes it really hard to figure out which coaching is consistently the best or reliable for covering all subjects effectively. It adds to the confusion for aspirants, so you should be very attentive about this thing also. So to all of you who are planning to go for coaching, here's my advice: be proactive and do some research about the best teacher for the specific subjects you want to study. If possible, and I know this might not always be an option, try to find classes for only the subjects you genuinely need help with. This can save you a lot of money and time, although it's a bit rare to find such flexibility. But if you are able to bargain, or maybe you are lucky enough, then do try this. And if you do end up purchasing a full GS foundation course, don't fall into the trap of being a good school student who completes all the classes of every subject. Be smart, focus on subjects like geography or economics, where you really need some conceptual clarity. For others like ancient or medieval history, you can watch classes on faster speed just to get the gist of the story. But for modern history, stick to spectrum. The time you save by skipping unnecessary classes should be invested in extensively studying the standard books. Remember, the first 2 to 3 readings of these books might feel uncomfortable or even overwhelming, but don't get discouraged. By the time you read your 5th to 7th reading, you will be so confident you could teach others. It's all about consistency and smart efforts. This is such a vast topic, and therefore I didn't answer it in the comment section because it needs to be talked, and there's still so much left that I need to share with you. It's impossible to cover everything in just one video. Today I talked about the part of coaching that we can avoid, but there's also another side of this coin. In next video I will discuss the kind of assistance we actually need from coaching institute and where we should be investing our precious time and our parents hard earned money. We'll meet soon in the new vlog. Until then, keep studying and stay consistent. I will see you soon in the next vlog. Thank you.